Welcome back to Take a Pitch. Welcome back, Macca.
Dude, it's been a minute.
Yeah. When's the last time you
Been
were on? It's got to be like October, right?
probably a little before that.
Really? Probably
Yeah,
like,
because
yeah, that's right. When did you move down to your room? It
I
looks
was gonna
good.
say thanks, because I moved down here like early October, probably like around October 5th. I don't know.
Okay.
So, bro, it's
So yeah,
December
so
now.
last time you recorded was probably like the last week of the real season then, I guess.
Yeah,
Probably. Like around then. Last couple weeks at least.
yeah, the last week of the season before the wild card.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were there for the like when I remember we were still trying to figure out, we didn't know who was gonna make it yet for the AL. That was the last time we recorded because
Yeah.
I remember you saying the Yankees still had a shot to not get in, but they, they did. So
Yeah,
yeah, we've missed you.
I miss doing it. Fucking bored.
I know.
Just not much going on
It's
though.
even boring now, but I mean, at
Yeah.
least you know they are in lockout now, which we'll get to in a few. But the 2 weeks leading up to the lockout was exciting, but
Madness, bro. Like,
madness. Yeah, it was just like you never knew what was going to happen next. You know?
yeah, I feel like I expected like a lot of moves, dude. I didn't expect that many people
Right.
to sign like that.
hmm Yeah, I mean, so I really feel like the big domino was since the last time Max and I recorded a couple weeks ago. The first domino was Steven Matz, and that was quite the domino because Steven Matz, he was in talks with, like, according to, who was it, Heyman? He was in talks with half the fucking league, and then the Cardinals swooped in, gave him a 4-year, $44 million deal, appropriate in my opinion. I think that was a good
Yeah,
deal.
that's fair. Yeah.
And then the following morning, Mets owner Steve Cohen takes to Twitter and tweets about his displeasure with Steven Matz's agent, and that it was the most unprofessional, uh, whatever, most unprofessional business, I guess, that he's ever done. And I guess words don't mean anything. Your word doesn't mean anything, or something like that, along the lines of that. And I guess you could say Steve Cohen took kind of harshly to that because then following day, that was on the 24th, 25th was Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, oh no, sorry. What am I missing? No, 25th. Yeah, 25th. Oh, sorry. And then the following day, the 26th, the Mets signed Eduardo Escobar to a 2-year, $20 million deal. And then later that night, Starling Marte and Marcana. So as a Met fan myself, that was pretty exciting. Actually, get a legit center fielder out there, a guy, Gold Glove. He led the MLB in stolen bases. So it was nice. Eduardo Escobar's a nice pickup. Marcana's,
Yeah, those are nice pickups. Yeah.
yeah, very very well-rounded pickups too, which I liked. Versatility with Eduardo Escobar,
Yeah.
and Marcana and Marte could obviously play the outfield positions. And then following day after that, Marcus Semien. Actually, you know what? We'll stick to the Mets. You know what? We'll just go right to
Yeah,
that.
just lump it in, yeah.
Max Scherzer. There were a lot of back and forth with that one.
That was crazy, bro.
That
That
was
was crazy.
it's got to be the highlight of the all season right now. I mean, like that. I'm really at just a loss of words still. Like, it's
Yeah.
just crazy to have now a 1-2 punch of Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Barring injury and whatever, that could possibly go down as one of the best 1-2 punches in history, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, dude, if DeGrom's healthy next year, I mean, you would assume Scherzer's probably gonna be healthy too.
Yeah.
But I mean, my God, they threw the bag at him too, which is
Yeah,
what you gotta
43.
do, bro. When the guy
Yeah.
doesn't want to play on the East Coast, bro, you fucking make him come play on the East Coast.
Exactly. Yeah, who's gonna deny $43 million a year?
Yeah, bro,
No one's, no
nobody's
one's
taking
not. Yeah,
nobody's like, yeah, I'm gonna take that and not gonna take that and stick it over at in LA. Like, come on,
yeah.
some bullshit.
And I saw something basically that he didn't want to necessarily stay with the Dodgers. That he would have preferred going elsewhere. I don't know how true that was.
Yeah, didn't they say something that they were trying to like limit his innings or something, and then it
Yes.
ended up making him more
Yeah.
fatigued,
Yeah.
like
He
down the stretch?
he was not a fan of the way that they ran things baseball wise, I
Yeah,
guess, on field. And yeah, that's how he ended up hurting his arm was because they limited him at the end of the season and then had him pitch extra in the postseason. And he's a guy that
yeah,
likes it consistent. He's not worried about his arm
right.
for a load. He's worried on, coming off raw, I guess, or cold. So I mean that's got to be the signing of the off season. Uh, but yeah, and then I mean the other team to highlight is the Rangers. To sign Marcus Semien and
Out of
Corey
nowhere
Seager.
too.
Yeah, I mean I knew, and I feel like a lot of people had at least an inkling that the Rangers were going to be spending a lot. You know, um, but I didn't think that they were going to be spending this much. I mean, they committed
No,
500 million.
I
You
mean, dude,
know,
I knew they were linked to like Trevor Story and
yeah,
whatnot, and then they got Simeon, and I was like, okay,
mhm.
they're probably out on everybody else. And then they got Seager, and I was like, holy shit. And it's funny too because they really they're still like a bad team.
Yeah,
Like they still need a ton more moves to make,
hmm
but it's definitely the right direction.
yeah. And they made a couple other small signings with Cole Calhoun
Yeah,
and
John Gray.
John Gray. I like John Gray a lot personally.
John Gray would be a good move if he was like
hmm
their number three, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
coming in as their
Now
ace
he's
right
going to be
now.
their ace. Yeah,
You
I
probably don't
mean,
want that.
and of course, they have Jack Leiter in the minors, and uh, who's the third baseman?
Oh,
Is that Young?
Josh
Yeah.
Young. Yeah,
So, um, so I guess they see Seager as a long-term commitment at shortstop. You'd imagine, right? Because
yeah.
Young is a top 25 prospect. So you'd
Is he
imagine.
that high? I didn't even know he was that high.
I think he's 25. He might be. I know he's definitely top 100.
Well, you're probably
I'll be
right.
definite on that
No,
one.
yeah, he's definitely top 100. He's probably that right. I just didn't know he was that high. I knew he
Yeah,
was good. I don't know. That's
yeah,
pretty
and
big, actually.
he's the he's the third baseman of the future for a long time. So I guess they're really committed to Seager at shortstop
Yeah,
for
I
long
guess they're
term.
confident with Seager
Yeah,
there too.
I mean he's got a good arm. He's just I
Yeah,
mean
he just
it's
doesn't
hard.
have the range.
Yeah, hard to move. Like Correa is a freak, and there's only two shortstops now of the big class that
Yeah,
aren't signed, and Javier Baez also got signed to the Tigers, 6 years, 140, and yeah, I think that's a good signing for them.
yeah, I like that one. They
I,
didn't break the bank. They
mm-hmm,
they get strong up the middle,
yep,
and he'll probably have like around a 700-800 OPS. So
yeah,
like he'll hit his homers and shit.
yeah, and he plays solid defense, and
Yeah,
he's an exciting player to bring into a Detroit team that is looking to compete at least in a few
yeah,
years.
he's still athletic.
hmm
He'll do
Yeah, and
some things for him.
they
You're not
have
committed to him.
yeah, exactly. It's only 6 years. That's not really that long. At 23
Um,
million a year, about I think.
yeah, in the
Yeah,
grand scheme of
23.
things, I mean, 6 years really isn't that bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. And they have Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green, who are both. I think they're both top 10 prospects. So
Yeah, they're up. They're definitely up. Torkelson might be in top five.
I think Torkelson is in top five, I believe, and I think Riley Green. I I remember doing the midseason. I believe that he's like 8 or 9 because I know Francisco Alvarez was 10. But
Yeah, Torkelson's like can't miss.
yeah, I
Like he's
mean,
supposed to be
just
can't miss.
such a pure hitter, and it's like almost perfect the way that it lines up with Torkelson and Riley Green on the cusp. They could come up like next year or maybe in 2023, and they have Miguel Cabrera still great mentor, Hall of Famer, and then they have Baez, So, it's a nice uh generational type
Yeah,
of, leadership.
they really don't have to rush them up either because
Yeah,
like they have guys under control for like even their pitching
exactly.
staff, the young pitching staff, they have them
Yeah.
under control for a while.
Well, we'll see about that. I'll see
Well,
how
yeah.
things change. But yeah, what's another big ones? A couple big pitchers. Kevin Gossman goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. Uh, do the Blue Jays now have the best starting staff in the AL East?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they have one of the best in the American League, man.
yeah, they might. I just
I was
I
really hoping Robbie Ray would go back there just for like Yankee fan purposes, but whatever.
I just
It is.
I just don't see them. They don't have a true ace. You know what I mean? Like Barrios is good, but I consider him more of a two. Gossman has been very good over the past couple of years. I consider him more of a two. Ryu is a two. Alec Manoah is a three right now, four maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because like Gossman can be an ace if he does what he did last year, but I
Hmm.
think it's hard to imagine he's gonna replicate, a
Yeah.
sub 3 ERA in the AL East. I mean, he could. I don't know.
And
I think Manoah has the most upside though. That guy's
I agree.
gross.
Yeah. I we picked him up on fantasy, and that was one of the best pickups we could have
Yeah, he's
gotten.
nasty.
And but to go along with the Blue Jays offense, that is definitely scary
I mean, yeah, the Blue
to
Jays
be
have
in the
technically
AL
gotten
East.
worse because I mean, you lose the Cy Young Award winner, and you
Robbie
lose
Ray.
your second baseman who just hit
That's
45
true.
homers. So,
Yeah,
like as
that's
of right
true.
now, they're technically worse than they were, which is
Hmm.
fine by me. But I'm sure they'll do something.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd imagine they'll make another move.
Yeah, they seem aggressive.
Also, as a front office standpoint, you got to imagine that they're kind of hoping for George Springer to be healthy and kind of replace Marcus Semien in the lineup. You'd imagine, at least.
Yeah, because when
Um,
Springer played last year, bro, he fucking
yeah,
mashed.
yeah, he had. I'm pretty sure his OPS was around 900, right? But he only
I could
played
look
like
around.
he only how many games did he play? 40, 50?
No, I think it was maybe around 80 at the end of.
Oh,
I
really?
could be wrong. I don't know.
About half the year. You might be right. I just know he was out like pretty much the entire first half.
Yeah, he missed. Oh, yeah, he missed a ton of games in the first half.
Yeah,
Let me see. I mean, he had 300 at bats, so
300 pads. Okay.
he played 78 games. So
Oh, yeah. So about half the season.
I mean, he hit 22 homers in 78 games. I mean, guy was on pace for a
Yeah.
40 homer
So
season.
exactly. So they probably saw that and was like, we can as long as he stays healthy, he can replace Semien in the lineup.
Dude, his worst season was a 114 OPS plus. Other than that, he's never had
Really?
an OPS plus below 126 or 125.
Wow.
Like he's been really fucking good.
Yeah. Especially he's hit leadoff a lot throughout his entire career too. To have
Yeah.
that OPS plus, it's insane. Um, but you mentioned Robbie Ray. He's moving out to the West Coast, going to the Mariners.
Yeah.
And
It's an interesting move.
yeah, 5 years, 115. It's not a bad price for Cy Young. Always a guy who had high upside, good underlying numbers. He
Yeah,
was
you
a
can always strike guys out. Just
he was a Statcast favorite, but
yeah.
he's always had a you know 10, 11, 12 plus strikeouts per nine. But do you think that he'll actually replicate what he did this year? Do you think he actually figured it out?
I think he figured it out. I don't think he'll win a Cy Young again, but I think
Yeah.
I think he'll probably have like around a 3.3 ERA, somewhere in that
Hmm.
range.
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely. I mean, he'll be a solid one for them.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree. And to go along with their ace before Robbie Ray, Chris Flexon, who had a great bounce back year.
Yeah,
So
he's not. He's one of those guys who he got lucky last year. I don't know if he
oh
actually
yeah.
did, but I just feel like just the way his stuff is, there's no way
I
he
mean,
can repeat that.
pitching in the AL West, kind of besides like the Astros, actually, the Angels have a pretty nice lineup if everyone's healthy. So it's actually a pretty decent division. Um, the Rangers are a very easy team to. Michael's iPhone is waiting to be admitted.
There he is.
Michael's connecting. Oh, there he is. On the road. Oh, it's raining?
Snowing.
Oh,
Is it really?
snowing.
It's
Even
like
better.
it's not cold enough to stay snow, but it feels like
Oh. You know
Could have
what?
just waited till you got home, bro.
No, this is
snow.
great
Oh, you
content
waited
right
the whole
here.
time?
No.
we could have waited.
No. Whatever.
So, yeah, it was, I was talking about the Angels. They signed a couple of guys. They had, Lorenzen, who wants to be a full-time two-way player.
It's not gonna happen.
So, I mean, what better place than with the Angels, though, if he wants to do
I
that,
guess,
right?
yeah. I guess, yeah. But you better be putting up half of Otani's offensive numbers.
Yeah.
See how jacked he is? Come on now.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, he played, and he played the outfield quite a bit too with Cincinnati. So,
Well, center field, right?
yeah,
He's an athlete.
and we know he's got a strong arm. Guy throws 100+ miles an hour. So, they also signed Raisel Iglesias to a 4-year, $58 million deal. And I know you and I, Macca, I know for certain, Mike, I'm sure you are too, if I remember correctly. Not too big on the big deals for relievers. Paying that much for a reliever.
It's weird because like the times are changing where like Aaron Loop's getting a $7.5 million deal and he's coming off his best season, but like Raisel Iglesias, besides the last couple of years, has been a good back end of the bullpen guy.
Yeah.
And the way contracts are going, I mean, it is expensive for a reliever. I probably would have paid max 12. Was it 4 years, 58? You said.
4 years, 58. Yeah.
So I would have probably went 48, maybe 10 million off.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because like you're spending what is that? What is that, like 16 million?
Yeah,
something like
just
that.
under.
Like that's a lot for a guy who's been suspect the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
He got paid that just because of his season last year.
Yeah. I mean, he's been good, but
yeah, if he's on, he's phenomenal.
Exactly. But I wouldn't say that he's been elite, that he deserves, that's what Chapman got pretty much the same deal as Chapman, right?
I think he's making more than Chapman.
Really?
Actually, no, it's probably around the same. You're right, probably around the same. I forget the numbers. I don't know.
I think Chapman made 15.5.
I think the thing about the Angels though is that they're finally spending on pitching.
Committing to pitching, yeah, which is crazy because for 10 years more, since I guess CJ Wilson, who still is, he had one decent year with Texas. Artie Moreno, the Angels owner, has always been against spending on pitching, thinking that you can, work through pitching. And now he's actually finally spending on pitching. So, I mean, good for Angels fans. Something to be excited about. But
Chapman's making a little. Actually, Chapman's base salary is 15 mil.
Okay.
But with a signing bonus, so his payroll salary is 17 mil.
Okay.
So the Yankees are paying him. So he's got 17 mil in the luxury tax next year, and then he's a free agent.
All right.
That's a lot of money. Fuck.
That is a lot of money.
To somebody else.
And then yeah, and then the other big one, I guess, is really Marcus Stroman going to the Cubs. And he was having quite the hissy fit over those 2 weeks. Very, very offended, and a lot of nonsensical claims made, talking shit about reporters and
He always runs his mouth.
Yeah, dude, he just doesn't shut the fuck up. That's
bro, just shut up.
It's his only downfall. Like, if
he got paid.
Yeah, he did. 3 years, 71. That's good payday for him.
Yeah, 25 mil a year. I mean, that's what Verlander's getting.
Exactly.
I mean, Verlander's contract never became official, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But
it could fall through in the long run.
I would appreciate that very much, because I know the Yankees made one contract offer to somebody, and it was to him. So
not Corey Kluber.
no, no more Kluber. He'll go to Tampa and win the Cy Young.
Yeah, he threw you guys your no hitter. Let him get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right. That was awesome.
So yeah, Stroman, it's a good deal. His one downfall is the dude doesn't shut the fuck up. Besides that, I mean, he could be likable. I personally just fucking hate his attitude. I hate, his attitude. I hate everything that anytime he opens his mouth, I just hate it. So.
Yeah, he finally got his payday though, so
Yeah.
good for him, I guess.
He had a good year. He had a great first half. So, yeah, good for him. I don't know why Chicago is getting him, honestly.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know. I guess, are they just deciding to spend money now? Like, I don't...
All right, bye, Mike. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Shit.
The hell?
He muted himself. He joined and muted himself.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the only other one really that stuck out to me, no, there's a couple, actually. Chris Taylor signed back with the Angels, 4 years, $60 million. That is a great deal, I think, for the Dodgers, really. I think it favors the Dodgers a little bit more just because how valuable he's been. I mean, he was an all-star this year,
Yeah, he does a lot, man. There's not a lot of guys that could play center field.
Yeah, exactly.
And, fucking kid.
In and out.
And he wanted to stay with the Dodgers, too, so.
Yeah, exactly. And, not only does he, play everywhere, but he plays everywhere well. I mean, I think it was only first base. He has negative outs above average. Everywhere else, he's positive. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
You get a guy who could play shortstop and center field, consistently, and he's a positive defender there. That's a huge, a huge guy to have on your team.
Yeah, he's a guy that every team would want on. Like, he's a guy that everybody wants on their team,
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
There's just no downside to having on your roster.
Yeah, he's a super utility,
Yeah, and he hits.
Exactly. And the only other one really that stuck out to me is the Phillies actually went and got a good back end pitcher in Corey Knebel. Gave him I think it was just a 1 year deal. Yeah, 1 year, $10 million. But he was great with Milwaukee. He was great with the Dodgers. So Phillies missed out on everyone else. I'm surprised. I really thought the Phillies were going to get Raisel Iglesias, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really know what the Phillies are doing.
I don't think anyone knows what they're doing. I don't think they even know what they're doing. They spent all that fucking money on Wheeler, Harper, and Real Muto, and claimed they had more money, and no one has yet to seen it. So I don't know if it's really.
I don't get it. I feel like there's a lot of relievers. The Phillies. Well, the Phillies need to add a lot more relievers, but I feel like there's also a lot that they can add as like depth pieces, and I'm surprised they didn't like kind of snatch them up.
Right. I mean, they were in talks with Aaron Loop, ended up losing him, and they lost Neris. Neris went to the Astros.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
so they kind of need a lot.
Yeah, Knebel's a good pitcher, but he's not going to. I mean, the Phillies fans thought the same thing. A lot of people thought the same thing, I guess, actually. I know Max thought that Archie Bradley, was going to be a saving grace in the Phillies bullpen.
No.
And look at what he did. So
I mean, he definitely helped, but like, bro, you want to rebuild a bullpen, you need 5 impact guys. Like you need like under the radar guys, like a guy like Clay Holmes that the Yankees stole from the Pirates. Like you need to make a trade like that.
Yeah.
Even still, the Phillies, they can add all the arms they want. They're not going to compete with the Mets. I mean, let's be real. He was outclassed on every aspect.
So, who do you think won the that 2-week free agent frenzy?
Oh, it's got to be the Mets.
The Mets.
The Mets did everything. The Mets did everything that the Yankees said that they wanted to do, except that the Mets actually did it. You know, like the
Mhm.
Mets got more athletic. They got better in every aspect.
Yeah.
They got more athletic. They added a legitimate. I mean, I guess ace who shouldn't be a number two on any team. Like I was gonna say, they added a number two, but they added a fucking ace to go along with the best pitcher in baseball.
Mhm.
You know, I think the only thing the Mets need now is a couple of reinforcements in the back end of the pen, and they're like
Maybe
they're like
another
a super
starter.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably need another depth piece.
Yeah.
But still, bro, you roll out that 1-2 with anybody, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like just imagine 60 games. Like if all things go right, just say 60 games that they both start. That's only 102 other games that Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer are not starting. That's
yeah,
insane.
bro, it's fucking crazy. I mean, they as a Yankee fan who sat there and watched their team do absolutely fucking nothing, the Mets did everything that I hope and wish the Yankees do after this lockout ends.
Yeah.
They did. I think they pulled every right. You know, they got a guy like Marcano gets on base,
Mm-hmm.
can play a little first base, but, play all over the outfield. He's never really had a bad year. A guy like Eduardo Escobar, who he's another guy who's not really gonna walk a ton, but he'll hit his home runs. He'll move around the infield a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a guy like Starling Marte who plays a position that is so thin to find a good center fielder.
Yeah.
And not only that, you get a guy who's led the league in stolen bases, so you add a whole new element to your team. And that's one the whole 2 week
I agree
pre-lockout
with everything you
offseason.
said. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you just look at the Mets now, and they have speed, they have good defense, they have Pete Alonso leading in with power, they have the best 1-2 punch of the generation, if not history. The bullpen could use some work, obviously, but yeah, I mean, just what they added was so huge for the team, and I just gotta say thank you to Steven Matz's agents. It's really
yeah. And I mean, dude, if the DH comes to the NL too, the Mets get
Mhm.
even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I mean, their bench, they took these guys, they brought in these guys, and now they have a bench of Dom Smith, JD Davis. Is Jonathan Villar still there, or is he a free agent?
VR's free agent.
Oh, that's tough. They should sign him back.
I know, I agree with that.
I wish the Yankees would fucking sign him. I don't know what the fuck they were waiting for. Like, bro, you need shortstop depth.
Yeah.
And the guy's, I don't
The
know.
versatility he can
That's what I'm
play
saying, dude.
outfield.
Bro, if the Yankees opening day shortstop's gonna be Andrelton Simmons, and I'm not gonna be happy about it. But
Dude, if they're not going to go out and sign one, why don't they just play that kid that they brought up this year? They give him LeBron.
fucking, bro, that's what I don't get it. I don't really get what they're trying to do. I don't. Like, thank God Freddie
Velasquez?
Galvis. No, well, Velasquez is on the
He's on the Angels now, right?
Angels now.
Yeah.
But they got this kid Oswaldo
Tyler
Cabrera,
Wade.
That was
he won a Double A MVP, and
Yeah.
he played a little Triple A at the end of the year. They added him to the 40-man to protect him. I feel like they want him to be the new Tyler Wade, but like, bro, you might as well just play him at short.
Mm-hmm.
I would take that over Andrelton fucking Simmons, bro. Like, if I wanted a 600 OPS shortstop, I'd stick Glaber back there. But
Yeah.
I think the only good thing is that Freddie Galvis is playing in fucking
Japan now, right?
Japan now, because I'm sure that was one of their options.
Just get him the fuck out of here.
Hopefully Simmons retires.
I mean, yeah. How does it feel that Tyler Wade's actually gone? Because I think the most infamous thing about you, Mac, is how much you have hated Tyler Wade.
I don't know. It's weird because he kind of sucked for so long, and he was actually usable in 2021, and then the Yankees said they wanted to be more athletic, and they got rid of their most athletic guys. So I don't really know. Now is the right time to get rid of him, but whatever. I mean, who the fuck cares? I don't really know what they're trying to do over there. And he was the one guy who could play shortstop, and now they don't have a shortstop a backup at all. So
yeah, do you even technically have a starter?
No, they don't have a shortstop at all.
Unless you count Glaber, but
me, his name's Glaber Torres.
No, he's the second baseman.
Glaber's officially second base.
Yeah, he is officially a second baseman. And I feel bad for all the Yankee fans that really think that they're gonna make a run at Correa, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's not happening.
get the hint, and they're not spending money on a shortstop. Like,
Yeah. Eh, Is like,
what
is
did
there
they-
a point? You know,
I mean, not,
one of your two shortstop has to be a hit, right?
yeah. I think they should just go in the season and have the kid Oswaldo Peraza. I think he's the number 3 prospect. It's a
Yeah.
lot of Oswald and Oswald, but the kid Peraza, he's
Mhm.
defense ready.
Yep.
So like, I mean, I guess you don't want to rush his bat, but like, stick him in the 9 hole. Like, and he's
Yeah.
fast. You know, I'm sure he can make things happen. Like,
Yeah.
give him a shot. Like,
Exactly. No, I agree with that.
you can't tell the fans that you're serious and have Anderson Simmons as your opening day shortstop. Like, you can't have a black hole in your lineup like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna hit
My
what,
opinion.
230 at best.
And he can.
Yeah. Like, was he even a good defender last year? Like, let me look into this
Yeah,
now.
he was decent, I think.
Was he Angelton Simmons?
No, he wasn't Andrew Simmons. And Simmons got to be like what, 31, 32 now?
It's got to be like, yeah,
He's
31,
not
32,
that
maybe
old,
32.
but like, you know, he's obviously winding down.
Angelton. Can you even look at people on Baseball Savant? Oh, you can. I just don't have pictures.
Oh, they don't?
No,
That's interesting. I guess
not even letting me click them.
MLB owns Baseball Savant.
I guess, actually, yeah. I didn't even... Oh, shit. He was very good. Outs above average. I mean, he's bad in everything else, though. Outs above average, 99th percentile, and then, you know, his K and whiff percentage are elite, but he's fucking terrible in everything else. Holy shit.
And that's
Slow
only
as
because
fuck, too.
he makes contact with like everything.
Yeah, I mean, 1 percentile on average exit velocity, hard hit percentage, barrel percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for him, to be honest. But
I would be surprised to see him on any team that's actually going to be competing, honestly.
he'll be a Yankee. I would bet money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would bet money on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised.
There's 3 options in free agency right now.
hmm
It's Simmons, Story, and Correa. And I can tell you 2 of them won't be Yankee. But leave Simmons.
Mike, do you want me to add your iPhone? Oh, look at that.
You're having all types of issues here, buddy. I can't take this kid serious. I can't.
All right, so let's move on to the lockout.
Yeah, let's move on. I went on a rant. Sorry.
No, you're good. There's really not that much to say about it other than, you know, the lockout itself is, you know, the players, the owners can't talk. That's really mostly everything about it, right? I mean, there's just no contact between the players and the owners and the teams. Started on I guess technically December 2nd, right? By Mike's iPhone.
What is this kid doing? Yeah, it was December 1st, December 2nd. I forget.
Yeah.
Everything's a blur lately, but basically, the owners being a bunch of scumbags, and they don't want to make things easy. So
yeah, exactly. And
we're gonna be locked out for a while.
Yeah, and I saw that they have a you know, soft deadline of February 1st. So really hoping that is the case, but I guess we'll see.
Sucks,
so
dude.
Here's the MLB's reported proposals. The elimination of direct draft pick compensation for teams signing and losing free agents. So they don't want to lose picks for signing guys who have a qualifying offer attached to them. Draft pick lottery, so that teams don't tank, like how in the NBA, you know, if you finish in the, how does it work, Mike? Finish in the bottom 3, you're not guaranteed a top 3 draft pick spot.
What?
How does the NBA draft lottery work? Right?
Oh, it's the bottom three all have the same percentage chance at the first pick.
Yeah, but they're not guaranteed the top pick, right?
No, they're guaranteed. I think the lowest they can go. Actually, I think the
5.
lowest they can go 6, maybe
Oh, okay.
5,
Okay.
6, something like that.
Yeah, and then like pretty much everyone else is just kind of like whenever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next thing is the only thing that the two sides actually agree on is a universal DH. They both want that. That is going to be happening. And they want an increase to minimum salary. I'm not really sure what that means, honestly.
I think they want so instead of the 560 grand or whatever that you get, you know, like when they
want to increase the minimum.
First,
the major league minimum.
So everything, so every like rule change that the players want, it's not for like I don't want people to think that it's for like guys like, you know, Corey Seager who just got paid, you know, 350 or whatever he got, 325 million or whatever. It's for like the guys that are like your average guys, you know, like guys that'll be in the league for a couple years and then become a free agent, and you know teams don't really want them, you know.
Right.
So like you got to think of this as like the average guy who comes in, you know, they play with the team for a couple years, you know, they're making their minimum salary, but they don't really feel like I was listening to Trevor Plouffe say it, like 500 grand. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not, with all like the expenses, and then
expenses,
taxes,
and taxes,
and you know, then you have your own bills to pay and family to take care of. So like, it should probably go up. Probably maybe I would say around like 800 grand, 750.
I agree.
It's probably a good area to start.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they want to expand the postseason, increase it up to 7 teams per league. You know, pretty much the exact same format as we saw in 2020.
I think expanded playoffs is
basically
terrible.
The moral of the lockout from the proposals, basically, from what I've gotten, is both sides want MLB to be more competitive. They want baseball to be more competitive, but they don't, but the owners don't want to spend more money to do it, basically.
Yes.
So expanding the playoffs, they would have, you know, then those middle teams that are like, you know, we might be able to compete, but we're probably not going to. So let's just get rid of this guy anyway, who's on a contract year. Then they'll think twice about it, and they're like, oh, well, we're only 2 games out of that last playoff spot now because it's expanded. So I like it. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think expanded playoffs makes sense, and it'll make the owners more money, because you get more playoff time or TV time in the playoffs. But I also think I just think it's better for baseball. Like, I don't know. People say the regular season doesn't matter, but like, let's be real, bro. 162 games really doesn't matter, anyways. For a lot of people, I actually think they should if they're gonna do expanded playoffs. I'd like to see them cut down the regular season by like 10 games.
154.
Yeah, I think 154. I think is perfect.
Yeah,
like 162 is a little unnecessary, but you know, like how often does it really happen that we get like a, you know, down to the wire type seat? Like this year, I guess it was cool for a little bit.
It was rare though. You don't usually get that.
Like you don't have, it's like maybe once every 10 years. Like that one year where fucking Tampa ended up coming back and beating the Yankees, and then I think the Orioles beat the. Yeah, it was like it was the first year I won't be network. I remember because I was watching it.
Right.
Like shit like that's rare. Like I don't know. It's just it's like, and if you think about it, every game really matters in the regular season, but it doesn't. Because I don't know. I just think expanded playoffs makes sense for both sides, but
yeah. And then here's the players' proposals. They got lower the 6-year reserve period for free agency down to 5 years. expand arbitration eligibility of players from 3 years to 2+ years of service. Reduce revenue sharing provided to smaller market clubs. Salary floor of 100 million and a higher luxury tax threshold from 210 up to 245. And I saw that MLB then countered that offer, and they said they would raise it to 215 and then incrementally over the 5 years add like another 5 to 10 million or something like that.
Yeah, you can't do it in one blanket shot.
Yeah,
I think the luxury tax has to go up with the way people are getting paid.
100%.
It just has to. I don't really like,
Look,
even
this
if
is
they
what
don't.
we said when we did ours, when it was just me and you a while ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense.
I think a salary floor should happen too. I don't know if 100 million is a good area to start because I mean there are teams at like $40 million right now. Like,
I mean,
how the fuck are they gonna get up to 6? Like, especially with all the free agents gone already. Like, I think that's why a lot of teams didn't want to. Like, I think teams like the Yankees and Red Sox and stuff didn't want to do anything before the lockout.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this. There are now, how many teams are there under what would be the 18 to 30? So there are 13 teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't count the Cubs though. So the Nationals and below.
So 12 teams. 12 teams.
I mean, how
almost,
the
almost
Indians
half the league.
or the Guardians are at 30 million.
I mean, look, the Pirates, the Orioles, and the Guardians are all making less than Max Scherzer is going to be making next year.
Like, that's fucked up.
That's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, in 1 year, this guy's making more than 3 entire franchises. Like, that is so. Yeah, I mean, it. Max and I were talking, and we'll record next week, and we'll do what we would propose. But what do you think? What do you guys think of the proposals so far?
I like a lot of the stuff. I think for the player side, I think I don't see like the whole like 5-year free agency. I don't see how the owners will agree to that.
Yeah,
or like the 29.5 thing. I don't. I think that's going to be tough to get by. I think the revenue sharing thing is interesting because I think a lot of teams, like the Pirates, will pocket. So they just pocket the money. Like, they don't actually use the money to get better, which is it's fucking evident too because they don't fucking spend money. So like I think they have to rework the whole revenue sharing system because I think that's why a team like the Yankees, they don't want to go over the luxury tax because they're like, why the fuck would I go over the luxury tax, give away and be giving away this money to these worst teams that don't fucking do anything.
Exactly.
It's just money coming out of their pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the luxury tax has to go up though.
Yeah, I agree. I think a floor is Mike and I have talked about this, I think, pretty much every time that was just me and him. But the luxury tax, the salary floor is like, it's just so necessary. It is.
Yeah, they gotta have that.
Like, I like the ideas from both sides. I do think they're probably not really too far off from each other, because both sides do want it to be much more competitive. And, being in turn more competitive is going to be more fun to watch. You're going to get more fans. You're going to get more revenue.
Yeah.
So it all lines up and it will all work itself out. But it's, will the owners, suck up their pride for a minute, for a couple of years to let this, work itself in to then get to that point of making more money.
Yeah, I just think the biggest thing for the players is the service time manipulation stuff, and I don't think the owners. I think it's going to be hard for the owners to come down off that.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think they have no like they don't really have any like urgency to get a deal done right away. I think they're gonna fucking wait this out till February and then be like, all right, let's really get this going here, and then by late January, early February, they'll really start to negotiate.
Yep.
Because they kind of have to at that point because they really can't afford to miss games in the season. They just can't.
Yeah. And I know, I mean, I don't know if you could really trust Manfred, but he has said,
He's annoying. I fucking hate him.
he has said a few times that he wants to make sure that okay, we have 10-minute warning, that he wants to make sure that it gets done. He wants it done before February 1st.
Yeah, of course he wants it done, but like, just did you see the thing that I sent you? Yeah, I sent you guys that little thing. Like he was straight up lying. Like,
Yes, yeah,
and
yeah,
fucking Max agreed with him too. I'm like, come on, man, gotta be on the player's side,
That
man.
yeah.
sense.
I mean,
Fucking Max.
I made a new take a picture logo just for our social medias, just to show that we're with the players. That's
And fucking Max says the complete opposite, bro. I'm like, this guy, bro.
because
Stupid.
Fucking gabagool, man. Fucking
Fanguli. That's honestly
Max is
what
an
it
island
is.
boy.
He looks like one. That's for sure. Why is this not working? The hell is this?
Imagine if Max walked over to your house one day with a haircut like that.
I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd love it.
And then you're having all types of technical difficulties tonight.
It wasn't working on my laptop. It wasn't working on my phone.
Yeah, there we go.
Now we're figuring it out.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Look
you
at
guys
that.
saw that, right? That the players are not using
Like
Yeah,
my
I've
career.
seen that.
they're putting like up the blank picture on their social medias. Yeah, so I made a nice special take a pitch logo for the time being until they figure things out. So yeah, any other thoughts on the lockout? I mean, there's really,
Get in soon because I want to see what the Yankees are gonna do in free agency. I gotta wait till fucking February.
what do you think the chances are that they'll sign Story? Because Story is a little more interesting. I think that he's worth more of the ticket than Correa, because Correa, I feel, is very limited to just the left side of the infield, whereas Story can play the outfield. He can play second base, he can play third base. So
I've been on the Story bandwagon as a Yankee fan for a while. Like the Yankees need to get more athletic and better defense. Well, that's how you do it. Like you'll take his bat third, who still has a good bat.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
one down year on his bat. I mean, and it wasn't even that bad of a year either. It's just not what we were used to for Story.
Everybody's concerned about his home and road splits, but like, look at
Arenado
did fine.
Look at Arenado.
LeMahieu did fucking great away from Coors.
Like, exactly.
People are fine outside of Coors. They just you tell me him going to Yankee Stadium's all of a sudden,
I
make him a worse hitter.
I think that's the perfect transfer spot. I said that before with DJ. If you're going to be leaving the Rockies, I think the best spot to go is the Yankees or maybe Boston. Boston's probably a good spot to go to. Good hitters.
I think if you're a right-handed hitter, I think if you're a right-handed hitter, Yankee Stadium is good because like you could still hit the ball the other way, and like you'll still get your doubles and homers out of it, and like if you pull the ball down the line, it's certainly going to go out to left anyways.
Exactly.
But I think with the Yankees, it'll all depend on what happens with the CBA stuff. Like if the luxury tax goes up and they feel like they got a little bit of wiggle room, maybe they sneak in a contract offer to a Story or something.
Yeah.
I think Correa's off the table. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Correa's done.
He's going back to Houston.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to wait last minute. I think Houston's going to come in and get him on a short-term deal.
Also, his possibilities are limited now.
Yeah, well, he can't go to the Dodgers. I mean, the guy cursed out half the fucking organization.
Not going to happen. I don't see him going anywhere in the AL West. I don't see him going anywhere in the AL East. I said a sneaky spot was the Marlins, but after the Jeter comments, maybe not so much.
Yeah, he's like burning a lot of bridges, so it's kind of tough. I don't think a lot of guys on the Yankees I don't know. I just can't see him going to the Yankees at all. I'd be fucking happy if he did. Sure, I'll get over the whole cheating thing. He'll make the team better, no doubt. But like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Phillies. I guess I don't know.
They
do they want to drop? That's what I'm saying.
do
they want to drop? Yeah, it's like who else?
If they had the
needs
money
a
though,
shortstop?
that is a good spot. The only other place, there's
Cubs, maybe. I don't
Detroit,
know.
yeah, maybe the Cubs if they're willing, but
Maybe
I
Detroit if
just
they want to spend.
The
I just
Cubs are in a
don't.
rebuild. He ain't going there.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, but they
I
just
thought it was
dropped
already
70
yeah
on
on
Strowman,
Stroman,
so it's
which
Oh,
was so weird to begin
that
with.
was
So
stupid. Yeah.
who knows?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
The only other spot that I could see possible is maybe the Twins.
Yeah, but
Just because
I don't think they want to spend.
no, I don't think so
Twins
either. But uh, but that's really the only other spot that you would need. You know, Polanco is not really a good shortstop necessarily. He's a
Yeah,
good
he's better
hitter,
at second.
and he's a
Great
better
hitter.
he's a better second baseman. So, you know, and then maybe the White Sox, but I don't think that they're going to spend that money on him either. Although
No.
they were linked to Trevor Story, but yeah, looking at this, most teams don't need a shortstop. I guess maybe
What about Milwaukee? And you just move. You can move
Adames?
Adames. You can play other
Adames.
spots. But he can play other spots.
True. They're got a point.
Or you could trade Adames to the Yanks. You could do that.
Yeah,
That's right. I think I don't know. I don't think Milwaukee's
I can't find a
big
fit
spenders,
for
but yeah,
Kraft.
I just can't. Yeah, I can't
I
either.
can't find a fit.
I thought Texas was a good
KBO?
spot. Not gonna happen.
Okay.
KBO, that's a good one. That's a good spot.
I think Story will end up on the Dodgers. I think they'll stick him
yeah?
at short, move Turner back to second. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know who's gonna spend money. Like I don't really know. Like if it's not the Yankees, who's who's spending money on a shortstop?
yeah,
Do the
let's
Blue
see.
Jays come in and swoop up Trevor Story or something? And
Yeah, right. And
but like,
put him
why
at
would you
third, I
sign
guess.
Trevor Story? Yeah, but why would you sign Trevor Story to play somewhere other than shortstop?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they have Bobichet's not a great shortstop, so like
Yeah.
You just move him to second.
yeah, but they wouldn't
Third.
move if they wouldn't move Simeon. They wouldn't move Bichette to second for Simeon, so why would they do it for somebody else?
Mhm.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The Red Sox, maybe? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll sign Story.
I don't
Move
think the Red
Bogarts.
Sox have much space. What's their payroll? Yeah, they're at 164. That's not really too bad.
They could easily
got some
sign
space.
Story for
Didn't
30
they
million.
just sign
Yeah.
somebody? Am I crazy?
No, they traded Hunter Renfroe
Oh
to
yeah,
Milwaukee for
Renfroe.
JBJ. That was a weird move.
Oh, that
and
was the stupidest trade.
I'm not gonna complain about it. That was a weird
I
move.
mean, it's a good move if you're a Yankee fan, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the hell that was about.
They
And
just really missed Jackie Bradley in center field, I guess.
I guess
yeah.
center field depth so hard to come by. I guess that's what they had to do. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I just the only other team maybe is maybe the Cardinals, I guess.
Nah, they like
No.
Sousa though, or Sosa,
Cardinal-
whatever the guy.
yeah, I don't-
who
I
came
don't
up
know.
in the
Sosa.
postseason. Yeah,
I can't find a fit for either of these guys. It's
Yeah.
like I genuinely
the
don't
Reds.
know. No, the Reds are looking to
They
tear it
won't
down.
spend it, but they need a shortstop.
But you're right.
I mean,
They
a
do
lot
need
of
a
teams could
shortstop.
use a shortstop. It's just who's the fuck's gonna fork over all this
No,
money?
but they
And that's the thing.
actually need
Exactly.
a shortstop. Eugenio Suarez cannot play shortstop.
Yeah, true. But most of these guys, or most of these teams that do need a shortstop are not going to be spending. But
Yeah,
if you get that
Mets
salary
on him,
floor,
move him to third.
the Guardians, the Orioles, Pirates, Marlins, Diamondbacks,
I feel so bad
Mariners,
for Jose Ramirez.
they would all have to start forking out a
Yeah,
lot
they got to
of money.
get him out of there.
I
They got to
think
get.
he'll end up getting traded by the end of the
It's not
winter.
soon enough.
They might have to fucking sign him if they have a salary for him.
Yeah,
It's
they
only
might,
he's half their
10-year
payroll.
10-year $1 billion contract just to fucking
I
get
don't-
them over the hump.
I want to see Oakland tear it down. I want to see them start making
Oh
trades.
shit.
There's just one guy I'm interested on that team.
We're gonna have to get that out next week.
Is his
We're
name
winding down.
Matt Olson or Matt Chapman?
His name's Matt Olson. I don't give a fuck about Chapman. I give a lot of fucks about Olson though.
Mac, we're winding down, but you'll have to remind me next week about Olsen and Freddie Freeman because I know you're big on Freddie Freeman going to the Yankees. So, guys, you'll have to tune in next week to hear Mac's thoughts.
Peace.
Love you.